Welcome to class. We are going to go ahead and get started with our 45-minute practice today on our backs. We all had another rough weekend with another wild Midwest storm. So zen out a little bit and not work too hard today. So when you get there, we'll drop the soles of the feet to the mat, widening the feet just slightly wider than the hips to let the knees fall together and rest on each other. Take a moment to scan the body, settle in, toes are pointing towards the front of the mat. Belly goes nice and heavy. Shoulder blades are snuggled underneath the heart space so that we're comfortably widening and opening the chest. Chin tucks slightly towards the chest, keeping length in the back of the neck. Hands either fall wide or maybe rest on the belly. And we breathe. Inhaling in through the nose, down into the belly, letting everything soften and relax on the exhale. Notice where your mind starts to wander today, because we are human, so it will wander. And choosing to recognize that any thoughts that we do have are not thoughts that have an immediate need or an immediate deadline. We can choose to put them to the side and focus on our breath, our body, our practice. So it's this act of choosing to be mindful. Stay here for 3 more breath cycles. Full inhale. Long, slow exhales. Last one. And at the end of your exhale, keep the eyes closed, seeing if we can feel our way through our movements here, strengthening that mind-body connection. We heel toe, the feet back through the hip line, coming towards each other. Knees start to open wide as we take our posture in the opposite direction. So soles of the feet kiss together, knees open wide, reclined bound angle. We let gravity work for us, not pushing or pulling our legs down to the earth. But if we feel pinching and pulling in the groin, especially close to the pelvis, let's bring our hands into a fist and bring the fists pinky side to the earth, right underneath the outside of the upper thigh, giving a little natural support. Be here for one more inhale. And on your exhale, gently, we're going to bring the right hand to the outside of the right thigh, helping to lift just the right knee up towards the ceiling. And then we pull the right knee towards the face. So we're going to keep the left leg in this reclined, the half bound angle. If that's really uncomfortable, draw the foot a little closer to the front of the mat. Or if it's just not for you and not serving you, go ahead and straighten the leg. We'll meet you there in just a moment. On the exhale, we're pulling gently right knee towards right shoulder. Exhale, right knee over towards the left shoulder. Over towards the right shoulder. Over towards the left. Last time back to the right shoulder. One big inhale, one big squeeze. And on the exhale, we'll gently start to slide that left foot straight, long towards the front of the mat. Toes reach up towards the sky, and you feel that right hip, the right groin grow a little more room to move. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to release just the left hand. Right hand stays on the front of the knee. We're going to take some full range of motion circles. So first we'll drop the knee out towards the right edge of the mat. And then swing the knee through center. So just making circles with the knee. Your circles can be as big or as small as your body wants them to be. So listen to what your body's asking for and respond accordingly. Same goes for your pace of movement. So you can be as slow and meticulous or as swift as feels comfortable. Belly's engaged, helping to keep the abdomen supported and firm. We're being mindful of the left thigh. Maybe placing the left hand on the top of the left hip, left thigh. Next time the knee is up towards the chest, we pause and take our circle in the opposite direction. So first coming through the midline before the knee swings out towards the side. One more circle. Next time knee is up towards the chest, we catch the shin with both hands again. And exhale, left hand helps guide the right leg across the midline. over to the left side of the mat. Keeping both shoulders pinned down to the earth, letting the upper body relax into this easy support. Maybe we turn the gaze over towards the right. And keep sending the breath down into the belly and through the nose. On your next exhale, we activate through the center, drawing belly button back towards the spine, keeping the knee tight, knee bent. So we come back through center. We again keep the right knee up towards the chest as we lift the left leg, bringing sole of the left foot to the mat. Left knee is up towards the sky. We cross the right ankle over the left side, just above the knee, creating this figure four shape with the body, with the legs. Stay here if this is enough for you. Maybe give it a gentle pressure on the inside of the left thigh, or of the right thigh. Otherwise, on our next exhale, lift the left leg off the ground, bringing the shin parallel to the mat. Taking a moment to interact with and observe how this feels. And making a choice to pause here or interlace the fingers behind the hamstring. Gently pulling that left leg towards the face. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, we'll gently release the fingers, lowering the left foot down onto the mat. We're going to keep our legs in our starting position, so figure four shape. Hands are coming down to the outside of the hips, palms face down. Inhale. On our exhale, we're going into a modified bridge. I'll show you what that looks like here. We'll use an exhale to press into the left sole, lifting hips, abdomen, chest off the mat, chin comes up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we lower. We go for 2 more rounds. So inhale, very active in the right foot. Exhale, pressing into the left. And we're pressing the right ankle down into the left leg to help keep stable. Big inhale. Exhale, gently lower. Tail is the last thing to touch the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, we lift. Exhale, lower. Gently, we unravel, bringing the right foot off with the left, shaking it out a little bit if you need to, before we bring the arches, soles of the feet together. Again, knees open wide, reclined bound angle will be our resting posture before transitioning to the other side. Here for 2 more breath cycles. last one. And your next inhale, we'll lift left knee up towards the ceiling and then left knee towards the face, clasping around the shin and gently, as much as your body will allow, tugging that left knee towards the left shoulder. Exhale, left knee to right shoulder. Back over to the left. Exhale to right shoulder. And back over to the left. Exhale, we gently start to straighten the right leg, sending the right foot towards the front of the mat, toes up towards the ceiling. As we use the extra room in the left hip to pull the left knee towards the chest. One more inhale. On the exhale, we'll release the right hand. Left hand stays on the front of the left knee as we start to take our hip rotations on this side. So knee opens up to the left before pulling through the midline, creating your circle. Being mindful of how we're treating the right side, keeping our foundation. So we're pressed down through the right heel, right hip stays rooted down to the earth, right shoulders pinned down to the mat. Maybe right hand rests on the top of the right hip or thigh, just to serve as a reminder. Next time the left knee is up towards the chest, we pause and take our circle in the opposite direction. One more circle, and then we clasp the shin, both hands, squeezing left knee to left shoulder. Exhale, right hand guides us through the midline over to the right. Maybe left arm comes out long as we keep the left shoulder rooted to the mat. One more inhale. Exhale, draws us back through center. We keep the left leg elevated towards the face. Right foot lifts, knee up towards the ceiling as the right sole comes down to the mat, right in line with the hip. We cross the left ankle over the top of the right side, just above the knee. Taking a moment to adjust and feel our way through this position. Seeing if this is enough for us today, or if we want to explore lifting the right leg, right shin comes parallel with the mat. Both feet are active, toes drawing towards the shin as we interlace the fingers around the right hamstring, gently pulling right leg towards the face. One more breath cycle. Exhale, we gently release. Right foot down to the mat. Hands come palm face down on the outside of the hips. Active in the left toes as we exhale, pressing into the right foot, lifting hips, abdomen, chest, chin reaches up towards the sky. Exhale, gently we fold back down. Big inhale. Exhale, we lift tail, then abdomen, then chest. Chin reaches up towards the ceiling. Exhale, we roll back down. Last one, big inhale. Exhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Gently we'll unravel and bring the right knee up to meet the left, gently squeezing both knees towards the face. On your exhale, we'll start to separate the knees, widening them, keeping the toes, the big toes touching as we run our hands down the front of our shins, over the tops of the ankles, maybe clasping the ankles, or maybe clasping the outsides of the feet. It feels good to rock gently side to side here. Little playful movement, that's great. Otherwise, we'll take one big inhale together. And on the exhale, we're gently shining hamstrings and soles of the feet up towards the sky. Ankles rise right above the knees. We're sending the tailbone towards the front of the mat, helping keep the low back stable, our foundation. Shoulders go heavy down to the earth. It feels good here to gently rock side to side. You can, if that feels unstable and unsafe, then there's no need. One more inhale. Exhale, we gently lower out the way we came. So big toes come together, arches together, and then we drop the heels down towards the pelvis. Hands go over the tops of the ankles, fronts of the shins, fronts of the knees, as we drop the soles down to the mat. Taking one big inhale here. We're going to make our way up to a seated position. So you can get there by rolling onto one side, fetal position, and pressing yourself up. Or we kick the soles up to the ceiling and roll our way right on it. Left heel comes to the midline, right leg is going to come out long. We're going to find our hand placement on the right side. So dropping either the hand on the inside of the thigh, outside of the leg, or maybe dropping the forearm down by the shin. We're going to take just a moment here, settling in, pulling the right leg, the right femur bone into the hip socket, opening the chest towards the front of the body. On your next inhale, we'll reach left arm up towards the ceiling. And then over towards the right toes. Chest stays open towards the front. Shoulders are stacked left over right. One more inhale. Exhale, we lift from the left, helping to rise up through center. Right leg comes up and over the left. As we hook the right knee with the left elbow and turn past the right shoulder. Belly button draws to the top of the right thigh. Right knee squeezes towards the left shoulder. One more inhale. Exhale, we gently unravel. If you want to help the right leg along, that's great. And we take it gently to the other side. So left leg comes out long, right heel comes to the midline. We find our hand placement on this side, which might feel different than it did on the other, and that's okay. So either palm on the inside of the thigh, maybe elbow straight, outside of the thigh, or maybe dropping forearm down by the shin. And we pause for a moment to settle. And then inhale, right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, over towards the left toes. Inhale, right arm lifts up towards the ceiling as we straighten that left arm to come back up through center. Left leg reaches up and over the outside of the right thigh, hooking the left knee with our right elbow, and we settle in to our twist. One more inhale. Exhale, we unravel back to center. We're going to make our way into our tabletop position. So if you want to fully unravel, swing the legs off to the side, you can. Or if you are in this position, we'll drop the hands just right over to the right, taking a wide stance in the hands, pressing into the right foot and the bottom of the left foot. We lift ourselves up and let ourselves out of the twist this way. Hips are over the knees, wrists are right underneath the shoulders. As we inhale, drop the belly, open the chest, gaze is forward. Exhale, we round through, tail squeezes towards the belly button, crown taps down to the earth. Take a few more rounds like this on your own, inhaling to drop the belly, lifting the tail. Exhale, really squeezing, pressing away from the mat. Closing the eyes if that feels safe. Inhale brings you back to a neutral spine. Walk the hands out just slightly as we curl the toes under. Maybe sinking the hips back towards the heels slightly, stretching out the feet. One more inhale, and then on the exhale, we're lifting, sending the hips up high, downward facing dog. Taking some gentle movements here if you need to, rocking the hips from side to side. Otherwise, belly button is drawn back towards the spine. Drop the belly towards the tops of the thighs. Elbow creases are shining towards each other or towards the front of the mat. We're pressing away from the mat and the fingertips, lifting out of the chest, helping to lift the tail up towards the ceiling. Knees can be as straight or as bent as your body would like today. Your next inhale steps you gently up to the front of the mat, kneeling together in a forward fold. Maybe taking some gentle rocking motions from side to side. The feet and the lower legs stay firm. Let's continue this gentle rocking as we start to rise up into our mountain. When you get there, arms come up overhead, palms kiss together, and descend at the heart space. Arms go down to come up. Exhale, palms flip externally, and we drop the hands behind the tail, interlacing the fingers. One thumb on top. We loop the shoulders, reaching the fingers down towards the earth. Chest is wide open. Gaze lifts slightly as we inhale. Exhale, we bend the knees, start to bend from the hips, leading with the chest. We start to fold forward, lifting the fingers away from the body. Big inhale. Exhale, we release the fingers with control, gently letting them float down to the feet before rolling our way up to mountain. Arms come again up overhead, palms kiss together and descend at the heart space before dropping down to come up. Palms flip externally, floating down beneath, behind the tail. Opposite thumb on top this time, so whichever one doesn't feel natural. We loop the shoulders, drawing the fingers down towards the earth. Chest is open, gaze lifts slightly. We inhale and exhale, starting to lean forward with the chest, coming into our forward fold, bending from the hips, fingers lift away from the earth, or to the away from the body. Exhale, gently releasing the fingers down towards the earth. Inhaling to roll our way up to mountain. Arms come up overhead, palms kiss together, and descend at the heart space. Opposite direction this time, arms reach up overhead on the inhale. Before flipping the palms externally, swan diving forward into our forward fold. Inhale lifts you halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat. We step the left foot back, dropping the back knee, keeping it nice and gentle today. Fingertips are either light on the mat, framing the right foot. Maybe they're hovering slightly above the mat. Maybe you rise up and keep the palms on the top of the right thigh. Either way, gaze is forward. We've got a long line from crown to tail, sending the breath into the front of that left hip. Maybe taking some gentle neck movements here, if that feels good. On your exhale, we drop the left hand, left palm down to the earth. Inhaling, right arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, right hand floats down to the outside of the right foot as we lift the hips up and back, starting to send them towards the left heel. Right toes reach up towards the ceiling. Right knee can be as straight or as bent as you want it to. Gaze is either forward or maybe we bow to the body. Pressing down firmly through that back foot, our foundation. Big inhale. Exhale, rolls us back through center. We drop the palms, curl the toes of the back foot, lift the back leg, drawing front foot back to meet the left. We're in plank. Exhale, we lower gently all the way down, either dropping the knees and lowering that way, or lowering from plank, elbows stay tight to the side body. We flip the toes, big inhale, long exhale. Inhale, we press into the fingertips. Chin stays tucked to the chest until the last moment. Rising up into cobra. Knees are engaged. We're pressing down through the tops of the feet. Shoulder blades are pinching together. Exhale, lower. Toes curl. We press ourselves up to all fours before lifting the hips. Downward facing dog. Inhale. On the exhale, we bend the right leg, shift the body forward so that the shoulders come up over the wrists. Right knee is tugging up towards the chest. So kind of like we did in our hip rotations at the beginning of practice today, we're just going to take some gentle movements. We rock the right knee from side to side, letting the ankle trail the knee. One more inhale. Exhale, we lift back up into downward facing dog, taking the right toes over towards the left. Front body shines towards the right. Exhale, we step up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale, rolls us up to mountain. Arms come up overhead. Palms kiss together, descending at the heart space. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, palms split as we swan dive forward. Inhale, lifts us halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat. This time we step just the right foot back, dropping the back knee, finding our low lunge. Exhale, we drop the right palm. Inhaling, left arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, left hand comes to the outside of the left foot as we lift the hips up and back. Left toes reach up towards the sky. Maybe bow to the body. Maybe the gaze stays out past the front of the mat. Big inhale. Exhale, rolls us through that front foot. We plant the palms, lifting the back knee. We draw the front foot back to meet the right. Coming into a plank to lower down gently or dropping to the knees and lowering all the way down. Inhale, we press ourselves up to cobra. Hands are wide, chest is wide. Exhale, we lower. We curl the toes, keeping the elbows tight to the side body. We use an inhale to press ourselves up to tabletop or plank before transitioning to hips up high, downward facing dog. Weight shifts over into the right foot. As we bend the left leg, shifting the upper body into plank, we draw the left knee towards the chest. We start to move the knee from side to side, over to the right, over to the left. One more inhale. Exhale sends you up, downward facing dog, three-legged dog, left toes over to the right, front body over to the left. One more inhale. Exhale steps you back up to the front of the mat, forward fold. Inhale rolls you up to mountain. Arms come up overhead. Palms kiss together and descend at the heart space. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, palms flip as we dive forward. Inhale lifts you halfway. Exhale, fold. Fingertips come down to the mat. We step just the left foot back. We're going to keep the knee lifted as we shift the weight into the right heel and pivot the right toes over to the long edge of the left side of the mat. So making our way into a wide-legged forward fold. Toes come slightly towards the midline. Heels are pointed slightly away from the body as we start to drop the crown towards the earth. So making any adjustments to your stance that you need. Your stance can be as narrow or as wide as you'd like it to be. We're always, though, bending from the hips. So sits bones, tail is reaching up towards the ceiling. Crown shines down to the earth. Maybe hands come down to meet the mat. Maybe they stay up on the hips. Maybe you clasp opposite elbow. Maybe you have a block nearby. You want to rest the head and the hands on the block. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, we'll lift halfway so that we can heel toe, the feet a little bit closer, but slightly hip width apart. Toes point away from the body. Heels point towards the midline. We use our fingers to guide us as we start to drop the hips down in between the heels. So coming into our squat, you can either keep hands on the earth and use that in front of you as a support. Maybe you bring a folded or rolled up blanket or towel underneath the heels to give a little bit more space. Maybe you drop the hips and the heels all the way down to the earth. Chest comes forward to reach towards the thumbs. We're here for 3 breath cycles. After your last exhale, we'll use one hand in front, one behind to help guide us down onto our mat, coming into a cross-legged position. Hands drop to the knees or maybe in front of the pelvis in the lap as we close the eyes, dropping the chin to the chest. Would encourage you to take any other organic movements that you have time and space for today. Thank you for practicing with me on this Monday or whatever day it is in the future. And more importantly, thank yourself for showing up, because it is the most difficult thing that we can do sometimes, but you did it. And you should be proud. Have a great rest of your day, rest of your week and or weekend, whatever day you're watching this, and I will see you next time.